Dear friends in Jesus Christ, today we are in the 33rd Sunday of the Ordinary Time, Year A. The Gospel passage of today speaks about the parable of the talents. In the ancient Palestine, the best thing for a rich to do while he makes a traveling was to divide his money and hand over to the selected servants to take care of them. It was one of the safest way to safeguard the money as well as to keep the money working for him. Otherwise, the money will remain idle during his absence. The talent was not a coin or currency, but it was a weight or measurement. Sure, it was a great value in terms of money. Each servant received in different quantity. One talent was not an insignificant value, it was of great value. All received a good quantity, but they received in different quantity. The servants who received 5 talents and 2 talents went and traded with them and gained 5 and 2 talents respectively. They understood the responsibility and they worked on it immediately. The third servant took little care of the money. At least he acted that the money should not be lost. But it was not a positive action. On the return of the master, the servants gave their accounts. The first 2 servants gained the same amount they had received. This shows how much work they did and how they valued their responsibility, and they were rewarded. The master praised for their faithfulness. The trust of the master on them increased. They are invited to join the joyful celebration of the Master. Their past was praised and their future is assured. The servant who received 1 talent comes forward and says, "Here is your talent," which means this servant did not feel that it was given to him and belonged to him to take care. He considered himself as an outsider. Thus, he did not work and he did not even try, but he made excuses. This servant not only was lazy, but also wicked. This kind of people always blame others, blame the nature, and blame God. Jesus, through this parable, once again condemned the attitudes of Pharisees and Sadducees, who were like the third servant, kept the law exactly as it was. They were very much careful to safeguard the tradition with which they were handed over. They were not open for any change, any development, or any new messages, new ideas, new principles, new reality. This parable was also allegorized. Yes, it is an allegory. The master in the parable was Christ. The departure of the master was the ascension of Christ. The delayed return of the master was the delay of the second coming of the Christ. The reward in the parable was equated with a participation in the messianic banquet. What are the lessons we derive from this parable for our life? First, God gives different gifts to each one, and that too in different measures. It includes time, wealth, talents, authority, etc. What is important is how we use them. We may not be equal in the talents we have received, but we can be equal in our efforts. Second, God always rewards those who use the gifts that they have received. More than that, those who receive rewards for their efforts and contribution, greater responsibilities will be given to them. No rest, no relax, works must be continued. And God punishes those who don't take efforts or who don't try to use what they have received. Third, the master judged each of the servants individually and separately. They were not treated as one group. If they were taken as a group, they did very well. The master gave 8 talents and the servants together returned 15 talents. It was a good return. But the master judged each one separately on their individual faithfulness and efforts. Dear brothers and sisters, it is time for us to examine ourselves. What are the gifts we have received? What are the efforts have we taken with those gifts? Are we really ready and prepared for the return of the Master? God bless you all. Amen.